in BIPOC community and culture. We believe in a world where diversity is a source of strength, awareness normalizes challenging the status quo, wellness is a collective journey, and action means equitable investment of time and resources to historically underrepresented populations.
You know, when I moved to Austin, the saying was, keep Austin weird. But there's nothing weird about displacing an entire community of people.
My dad's born in 1959. He was in the house since he was 4 years old. The house is no longer in the family. We don't own it anymore.
I've seen a lot of our historical landmarks and our Black history here in the city be altered.
St. John's was a predominantly Black community at one point.
It's a really scary thing, you know, because for a person who is born and raised here, it kind of lives like you're being stripped of who you are.
They were already starting to plan to tear down even like the hospital I was born in.
You know, this isn't the same city that we moved to 14 years ago.
It's really taken a toll on a lot of folks here in town.
As much as this city is super welcoming, I do think that there's just a lot of people that go under the radar and like their needs go under the radar or they can't find the space. And I think that DAWA works really hard to create that space for that group of people.
The acronym is Diversity, Awareness, and Wellness in Action. I chose DAWA to have that foundation of healing from the very inception of it. It's like a prayer. DAWA is medicine. It's a Swahili word that means medicine.
So DAWA has 4 areas of focus. They have the DAWA Fund, raising money, giving cash in hand to those in need.
You don't know when your next check is coming, so it was super helpful in like easing my mind and like helping me to not stress during that time, feeling supported, still feeling purposeful, and just having that as a resource and support to lean on made a crucial difference for me.
I was working for a commercial investment firm with their maintenance division, and I was kind of fed up with the way I was being treated, and that kind of came to a head one day when my boss made a significant remark, and this was around the George Floyd and a lot of Black Lives Matter acts.
When he called me and he said that someone had a bag of mulch and had put their foot on the mulch and said, "What does this look like to you?"
That kind of shook me up, and I actually had my first anxiety attack that day.
He was just like, "Mom, I can't do this. It's not safe."
I'm scared. I'm like freaking out. I can't move. And she's like, "Well, breathe." I was like, "I can't."
And I was just like, then it's just time to go.
That's what really was the straw that broke the camel's back.
And then the next thing he told me was just like, "I just got a grant from DAWA." Just the next thing you know, he's self-employed, a Black-owned business owner.
It really felt like somebody saw me and was like, "You need this. I want to help you. I want to see you grow." And that's exactly what it was, and that's exactly what it did.
DAWA Studios is a content creation studio for the BIPOC community.
DAWA is about that action. It's not just random letters.
There's no separation to me between art and community. Like, art is one of the most powerful tools to build community and bring people together. And that's something that I've always kind of known innately, but also something that I've explored and grown in terms of my ability to do that.
There's a lot of people who said they were going to be doing X, Y, and Z, and it always happens like that, but then there's also a population of people who actually do the work.
In partnership with South by Southwest, Vision 8291 focuses on centering and elevating the work of visionary BIPOC artists and leaders with the intention of annually raising funds to directly support the work of Austin BIPOC-led grassroots organizations. And the Black Lives Music Fund creates artist education and economic initiatives to help recipients build sustainable music careers.
DAWA is out in the community providing something that's so positive, and it has healing mechanisms to it.
We have organizations like DAWA that fight against the grain, even on a level where Chaka's, downtown at City Hall, raising his voice in there and advocating for us. You need the people that do that.
After working with DAWA, I had a true shift in my belief system in the way that nonprofits can be used for truly accomplishing and staying to what the mission, vision, and goal is that is set out.
What it looks like right now is that we distributed almost $300,000 to the community in 5 years, including $32,000 during the winter storm.
When he seen that Weekend was actually out there putting our lives at risk, DAWA called and asked what they could do to assist and gave us a donation, which helped us buy most of the resources actually that we gave away.
The work that the social worker does, the work that the teacher does, the work that healthcare providers, those that work, take care of our elderly, their work is so essential. So when we support that specific group, we are supporting an entire community.
It feels good to know that there are people who are willing to invest in those of us who are out in the community trying to make a difference.
They invest in us all the time. It's time for us to return the favor.
I mean, this is what makes Austin weird. This is what makes Austin great. Leaders like Shaka that really want to build a community, and it starts at that grassroots level.
When I think of DAWA being here for a long time and evolving, I think of more healing, more medicine, and more opportunities and resources for Black and brown people within the city.
DAWA means building the capacity of givers to give.
The future for DAWA is making giving to the givers a national movement. I've put my time, my sweat, my energy into this place that I love, and I have to make sure that myself as a giver, the generations that come underneath me, know that they have a place here.
So if you are someone that has been moved by a teacher, if you are someone that's been moved by works of art that you see, if you're somebody that's moved by live music and things of that nature, it's gonna go away if you don't invest in it. And so when you invest in someone like me and you invest in DAWA, you are empowering thousands and thousands of people to be whole, to be themselves, to follow their passion as educators, to follow their passion as caretakers. When you invest in DAWA, you're investing in them, in that community, in their work.
Okay, to do whatever he wanted, and I don't think I don't think that you necessarily intentionally do that. But you have a very powerful presence. And I feel like you have admirers everywhere you go, and you're just no.
Oh no, so? I'm taking it in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really think that you have admirers everywhere that you go, everywhere that we step. You're unafraid. You're just like, okay, this is my cause, this is my thing, and people are like, oh my God, I love that. Like you're like the stereotypical girl who makes 5,000 in the bathroom at the bar, at the club, at the club. We're all fam.
I do.
Yeah,
we all fam. In my bathroom.
Charismatic and charming. I don't think that you're a siren, but I think that you have the quality sometimes. That one day that you said was talking to the gentleman that I'm not going to say his name. When we were at Perry's. Oh yeah. And you just looked at him, and I felt like I shouldn't have been there. And I felt like I needed to find some guy to look at and do the same thing too. That's the charismatic. I was like, oh, I need to copy her and do that.
Hey, you know what? If you give me an inch, baby, I'm going to take a mile. Okay? I will. And why not? we went on a date and he looked like fun.
Yes. A good date.
Exactly.
I love that. You're my soulmate a little bit. Okay, no, on some real stuff, like there was this, like, the date that she speaks of. Okay.
Well, go ahead. Your date.
Yeah.
We can intro in that way.
Look. Can't Get You Out of My Head by Kylie Minogue.
Kylie.
Yeah.
I feel like if my mom had been more Americanized and not in Brooklyn in the 90s, maybe California, my name would have been Kylie.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Shaniqua with the Tims.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, baby.
That's it. Okay. This is giving me feminine vibes. Let me hand myself. This is how I act feminine.
I have more gorilla in me.
song just give cunty.
It does. I need to step on somebody's back.
Don't you know?
With some heels.
Right, in heels. A kitten heel.
No.
No,
Stilettos.
I just feel like very brash. Like that's very dominatrix. This is giving kitten heels with a pink bow and a Lamborghini. A very pink one.
Okay.
That's what. So anyway, you guys, everyone
pulling out a whip on that one.
Okay, which is, I guess that also works. But hey, everyone, welcome back to Hot Mess Millennials. I'm Keisha.
And I'm Shani.
And we have note cards because we are professional. Yours.
Yeah, today we're going to be diving into a topic very close to our hearts and maybe just a little misunderstood. Femininity.
Listen, it's nighttime, but y'all gonna listen to it anytime. So grab your coffee. If it's the middle of the day, wine. I don't know.
No judgment. No judgment.
No judgment. A mimosa on a Tuesday or a Thursday. Who knows? Who cares? And let's talk about what femininity even means to us. Spoiler alert. It's not just about being pink and wearing glitter and all that stuff. I mean, there's so much more to it, right?
There is. But you want to know something? I don't have the second card.
And that is exactly what I would have hoped for, because I'm not finna read these cards the whole time. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I am not. Listen, it sounded good. It feels, listen.
It looks real
Put
Oprah.
the camera on this real quick. Look at this. Look at the back of it. Hot Mess Millennials. Look at the professionalism. Okay, that's my girl Shani for you. Very
Thank
professional.
you, Lot Brothers, and your printer.
Okay. Listen, I thank you for your work. You know, we made a script and we did everything.
Hey.
Listen, for some reason, I feel like in the last day, I've heard the word feminine. And I was called feminine yesterday, and I honestly feel like I'm not the most feminine woman. And that's exactly why I wanted to talk about this, just talk through it, unpack, you know how we do. So, first of all, yesterday I went on a date, and I'll be very brief on it. Okay? And a lot of things ensued, not anything, you know, crazy, but went to a restaurant, ate great food, was kind of nervous because I realized that it's actually like one of my first real dates since my breakup. So kind of nervous to talk about it, but also was nervous to be there.
Okay.
But I knew in my mind, I was like, listen, no matter what, I want to exude like just complete, like whatever powerful feminine energy I have in me. I want to exude that no matter what. Like I told myself that my last relationship taught me how to be more feminine.
Okay.
Because I was always like, you know,
masculine.
Yeah.
And you're masculine, yeah.
Yeah, like I was always just very much like go, do, hurry up, impatient. And I just never really gave myself the chance to like sit in feminine. So I was like, okay. If I reemerge into the dating scene, I am going to be as cunty as I possibly can be. So I sat there and I was trying to listen. I was just, you know, being as receptive as possible to whatever he was talking about. But I was sitting apart from him. So I was like, you know what? I want to go to a bar or somewhere where I could sit next to him and just really like, I don't know, like, just be a girl. I don't know, right?
Pheromones.
Yes. So we went to this bar, it was dimly lit, and it was actually really nice. We just started chatting about some things, and like I just felt the energy shift because first of all, like I was next to him, and I felt his energy shift, like he could feel me next to him.
Ooh.
And it was kind of interesting, right? Like the chemistry. So just fun ensues, and you know, I'm asking him questions, he's, you know, answering them, and he's like,
are y'all looking deep into each other's eyes?
I was like eye contact all the way. And I just wanted to see the effect it would have, to be honest.
That's a power move.
Yeah, always. I think I do that more so at work, like just so that my bosses and everyone knows that I'm competent. But like really like looking a man in the eye when talking to him, there's just like something that happens, and it just kind of gives like, ooh, I'm in charge, or I have power.
Yeah.
So like he's like, you are very controlled, but like in a way that's very feminine.
Uh-huh.
And before this date, I already told Shawnee, I was like, I want to talk about femininity. I just don't feel very feminine. I feel like I want to discuss it and unpack it. So for me to be on this date and this man to look at me in my face and be like, you just have this controlled femininity about you. And he was, and by the end of the night, like, you know, I went home, he went home. But before I went home, I asked him, I didn't make him walk me to my car. And, you know, we were close to each other. I kind of looked at him, you know.
Did y'all kiss?
There might have been a smooch or two.
Like, wait a minute.
It was
just describe the kiss.
It was, first of all, he had very full lips, so there was a lot of distance. There wasn't a lot of need to be all close.
Okay.
So it was very PG.
Okay.
It was like it was one of those where you just do like the one, and then the look, and then the two.
What?
And then the look, and then the three. And then you start going into your car, and then you turn right back, and then you give the 4, and then you look at him. You know what he said before, like as he was walking off? He was like, "You're good," and then he just walked off, never to be seen again.
I have a thing with like kissing. I don't. I need to know when like you went to the. When was the last time you went to the? What? Oh, he's talking to you. Yeah. I need to know when's the last time you had a cleaning. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's gingivitis, there's all that stuff. So I typically don't kiss on the first date. I'll just be thinking about that, and then half the time my lips be dry.
Okay.
So,
see now, I'm a kiss on the first date if I feel like it. Like if I feel like I want to see what it's like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you no tongue.
I think it
ain't gonna be
just
nothing crazy
prude.
like that.
I am a little prudish in that sense, I think.
I mean, I used to be more out of control, but like, don't get it twisted. Like I've had my moments, but like I definitely, yeah, I'm a curious. Like remember we were talking about last week. Curiosity always kills the cat. It didn't kill it this time, but it definitely,
right.
you know, that's it.
Good parting. Okay. That's cute.
But it made me think even more. I was like, he said 2 words that I honestly did not attribute to femininity. Like he said 2 words that I didn't think went together. And he said controlled, like you have things under control. Like he said, like, it feels like you're assertive. He was like saying all these words that I swear to you, I always hated about myself. Like more as a woman, because I felt like these were things that kept me from really exuding the femininity that I wanted to exude.
Okay.
But I think that the fact that even a man would recognize that.
That's the key word. Man, a real man.
Okay.
Okay, because based off of what you just said, most men take an assertive woman as something negative, when really it's not. Okay, the woman's gonna allow you to do as much as she wants to. So it's kind of like a little cat and mouse, you know? So, yeah, whoever told you that before, they're lame.
Tell me about this cat and mouse. I feel like
I love cat and mouse.
Tell me about it.
I like to mind fuck, is what it is.
Oh, me too. That is my favorite.
I don't want to throw all my secrets out there.
I know, right? I shouldn't have screamed that so enthusiastically. I'm just kidding. Sometimes. That's my past. That's my old ways.
This my current. All right? This is me today. I like power. I like power. But like low-key power, you know?
That's feminine.
Yeah,
Literally.
to where it's like, I make you think that you thought of that. That sounds like manipulation, but whatever. Let's just throw femininity on that.
I don't like that. That's not what we try to say. That's not what we try to say. But fuck it. I mean, men manipulate too.
They sure do. They think because they have enough guap that they get whopped. No.
I think that I don't even want to speak on that because I don't even want to know the truth. I don't want them to know.
I know for me at least, no. Immediately no. But
I don't even want to speak on that because I don't even want them to know the truth.
What?
Like I'm not speaking on it. Like I want a man to continue to think that just because he got buddy, he gonna get whopped. I want him to think that.
But no, I guess for a short time. But then afterwards, then the power, the control comes out of me, and I just be wanna. So maybe I need to work on my femininity.
Yes, but it's a discipline. That's the thing. I used to think that femininity was like you're letting somebody just run all over you. I used to think that, and I used to despise it, and I actually used to kind of cower, but like in a very aggressive way, away from femininity.
Okay.
I would just be like, no, like ain't no dude gonna tell me what to.
Yeah.
Like I could defend myself, I could take care of myself, type of thing, and I've been that way for like most of my life, actually.
Same. Are you tired? Because I'm tired.
I am tired. I am
I'm
tired. I was like, I didn't realize it. I guess I am a little tired of that.
And it just sucks, honestly, because as being women of color,
Yes.
immediately we just have all this unseen responsibility. So it's kind of challenging for us to be feminine because we do have roles that I wish our Black men, not all, don't come for me, not all of them, but those that I've encountered, it's like, you got to push them. So therefore, you're no longer in your feminine. You're now being a leader, provider, and not protecting, but at least the bulk of the stuff that masculines do, you're doing that to build a man up.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no room for you to just be like, okay, lead me, thy king.
Yes. I've started to realize and think that I don't think that men were ever meant to be the leaders. I just have, in my time, like in my tenure as a person on this earth, as a woman, as a mother of 2 boys now, as someone that's been a fiance, I think that a man is the figurehead, and I think that that's just what society did. Nothing about, and I did get my degree in psychology, but I'm absolutely not a psychologist. I don't understand the biology of men and how this, or people, or how it like contributes to things. I don't understand why testosterone does what it does, or estrogen. But what I understand is that whenever we talk about the qualities that men are supposedly supposed to have, they're supposed to be, you know, the ones that are willing to take more risks, the ones that are willing to be more impulsive, the ones that, you know, they just go. They don't think too much. That's for women. They don't feel too much. That's for women.
Ew, gross.
It's like that. What kind of decisions can you possibly make, you know, soundly alone? And I'm not talking about the reality of man. I'm talking about what the stereotypes are that have been put on men. What decisions are you making on your own if these are the things that people truly believe are the truth about men? Oh, men, you know, women clean, men don't clean. They just go out and make the money. It just seemed like men are the workhorse and women are the strategists. Women are the ones that care about the aesthetic. Women are the one that, you know, are the consultants. It seems as though we are if we were in the workforce, the person that doesn't think much but goes off to make everything happen seems like the person that
The behind the scenes person.
Yes, doesn't seem like the manager.
Yeah.
So
the fairy.
I've come to an understanding. There's this anime I watched called the Anku. Gosh, you guys do not bash me.
I would not know.
It's okay. So it was basically about this place where this woman, like basically like the women are the ones leading everything, but they're hidden. So people can't really see on the outside. Like their government can't know
that they're women?
Yeah, for the most part. Like the
oh my
upper
God,
government.
how creepy is that? Being election night.
So, right. So the men kind of wrote the history of everything. So it made it look like the women weren't really the ones in charge the whole time.
Okay.
And it's such a secret that like to feed, like a part of like feeding their needs and making sure they reproduce, they'll have men live in this one place to basically satisfy this woman. But they basically die when they'll kill that man or release them to their families or something, like they'll basically kill them or get rid of them.
They're like bees.
Yeah, so that no one finds out that it's really women in charge. And I just, in my mind, I'm like, I look at the women in my life and I promise you there's just so much work that goes into being a woman and goes into managing. And I feel like if you're managing, you're the leader. And this ain't even coming from no personal feelings. It's just literally how, like, what my perspective is, even though that sounds like personal feelings. But that's just my understanding, that femininity has been made to look like Oh, you know, you just don't do anything and sit at the pool all day and wear pink.
I want to do that. I would love to do that.
You would never make it.
And not think. I was talking to a friend today and they were asking me something. I was like, look, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I know it seems like I do, but trust me, I don't. I would love to just be like, you know what? Oh, example. You remember there was something circulating on social media where it's like at the airport, the female is just la 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 la, while the male is over here. He knows when the flight goes. He gets her Starbucks, stuff like that. Basically, I want that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I need because sis is tired. I don't want to do that at all. I just want to be. Just want to be. Be a bee.
I don't think that's possible.
A queen bee.
Maybe it is possible, and I just have no idea. I'm just not connected to that life at all.
Why do you think that is?
Why I don't think it's possible?
Yeah. For us to like just rest. Because I feel like that's a bit of femininity. I believe there's a part of rest. You have to rest. And as women of color, I don't feel that we rest. Like this weekend, I literally rested and it felt so good. But in the back of my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do this laundry. I got to do this. Blah, 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 blah. I'm tired.
I don't know, Shani. I really don't know why we don't. I think that we want more. And I think that that's a pattern that I've noticed is that the women, at least that I know, especially the women of color, we want more. And the things that we want, you would not drop it all in a second if some man came around and was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna take care of everything and do all these things. You have passion in your life.
Yeah.
And you have things that you want to achieve, and that takes work. And you wouldn't want anyone doing that work for you because it's something that means something to you. I just don't think that we would want that. I think that there are times where perhaps, especially looking back at my old relationship, I wanted desperately to not think and to just know that there would be some aspect of something that would be taken care of in my absence of mind. Like my mind did not have to be invested in this. I think that the packaging of femininity is, oh yeah, like feminine needs to rest while masculine does everything. And it's just like, that's just not rational. I don't even think anybody would want that, but maybe it's because we're super Americanized and we can't.
No, I do want it. You know, when I was, little, okay, in my household, I think this is why I have challenges sometimes with American men because sometimes, and also why I've never dated a Latino man. No, I lied. I dated a Puerto Rican one time, and he was phenomenal because his ex-wife was Panamanian, so she had him like already trained. I just had to step in there. He cooked, he cleaned. He was phenomenal. Okay, great, a phenomenal man. But he reminded me of my dad. That's what it was, because my dad wasn't a stereotypical Latino man. My dad would wash clothes and fold it. Of course, nobody wanted him to cook anything because we wanted nutrition. So that was for my mom. But I definitely saw partnerships in there. So there'd be times when on Saturdays, my dad would make sure that we would not bother my mom. She got to sleep in. And then also, I guess my dad kind of fostered my femininity too. I would wake up to breakfast in bed by my dad. So I expect that.
That's why you're like this.
I expect, like, why not? Why am I not waking up to the smell of bacon? So, yeah, I don't know, Keisha.
I think that that's an interesting thing to sit with for a second is how our fathers shape our femininity.
Yes, and I would garden with my dad. I remember my dad bought me a flower, and we named it Genesis. And he was like, and he told me everything why, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But we would sit there and we would garden together, and he would talk to me and stuff like that. So I guess fathers really help you, with femininity. But at the same time, on the flip of the token, I don't want to say I don't need a man, but 85% of the time, I don't need a man because I know how to work tools. I know how to change my tire. My dad did that. Like, he prepared me to where I don't need a man out of, like, it's a want, not a necessity.
Right.
So,
yeah, I think
I'm in
that
a tough place.
honestly, like, but that's good. That's a really strong, like, that's a really strong thing that he instilled in you. But I
That's
mean,
intimidating to some men.
for people that don't know Shawnee personally, like, she also really ain't worried about y'all little trips to Turks and Caicos and Mexico.
Oh,
and
that
stuff.
too.
Like, she's just like, listen, my daddy took me places. He took me everywhere. I'm not trying to go.
Exactly. You can't take me
to
to
the
Miami
DR.
and think that that's going to blow my mind, because my daddy just took me to Paris this past summer. So
Right.
I'm definitely one of those my daddy
Yeah.
girl.
I love that.
But that sucks at the same time, because I have encountered men who didn't have an active father. So to me, I see how my dad, I saw the environment of a male and a female in the household and the dynamics, and saw how that moved. So yes, I do know how to move in a feminine way, but most of the men that I've encountered were raised by single mothers.
Mm-hmm.
So their mothers weren't feminine. I don't know if you saw something with Ilyana. I can never say her name. Ilyana. She said how she was a horrible mother, but an awesome father to her children. And it was basically, she had to keep the household moving. Like, if her child had a boo-boo, I got to pay this bill. I don't have time to be like, oh, okay, sana colita rana. She didn't have time. Like, you're not bleeding? All right, great. I got to go to my next job.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the men that I have encountered. So when they, I guess they feel that you should mother them in that way. I don't know. I struggle with being feminine with some men because, honestly, I don't even want to say they're pussies, but but they are. I require them to be at a certain level because I'm at a certain level. And unless they're at that level, I can't be feminine. Does that make sense?
No, I think that might be science. Maybe not. Maybe it's science I made up. I think that there's a yin and yang thing when it comes to feminine and masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there is supposed to be a balance.
Yeah.
I think there is supposed to be a balance. But then there also goes, for your example, I mean, you had a pretty, you had like a good example, but it also kind of shoots you in the foot because now you have really high expectations. And it seems as though we came up in a generation where perhaps we had really great experiences, but the other side didn't have the best experiences. So now we a little more hard and a little more driven. We believe a little bit more in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just like waiting for one of us really strong women to help them feel like they could be good too.
To be their therapist.
Something like that. We weren't even supposed to be talking about men. We supposed to be talking about
I'm sorry.
It's just, we're not us, but we're talking about femininity.
It's just it's a balance.
It really is always going to make its way into our conversations, isn't it?
Because you can't be feminine. These Negroes don't allow you to be feminine. Okay? They just don't. You know what was the cutest thing I saw yesterday? I didn't realize my dad was such a lover boy. I was looking for my little brother's baby pictures because I was trying to prove to my sister-in-law that my nephew looks like my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm just blinded by it, but whatever. Anyways, I found these Hallmark cards that my dad wrote to my mom. And in there, so for those of y'all that don't know, my parents met each other on Labor Day. And they were, which is in September.
For those of y'all that don't know.
Oh, yeah.
All of us.
So, yeah, they met Labor Day at the Panamanian Festival or parade in Brooklyn. It's a love story, let me tell you. So, yeah, Labor Day they met, and then they got married November 20th, the same year, okay? It was really quick. So all they had was phone conversations. And I'd be like, oh, my God, and those letters. And I wish I could read my mom's, because the way that my dad, I feel like the man kind of draws that out of a woman, the femininity, to make you feel safe enough to be like, you know what, you can be vulnerable because I got you, not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally. And in my experience, I haven't had that. At the point, what am I trying to say? Let's say if I do feel that way, this person has torn me down so much to now I'm like, oh,
Yes.
I feel vulnerable enough, Negro, because you beat me this down.
Yeah.
You have taken away my confidence. So therefore now this is how I'm trying to have like a pocket, an emotion from you. That's how I can get that. So I tap into my femininity in that way.
It evokes an emotion.
Yes.
Manipulation. But that's a trauma response, or
it is.
You know, that's how the abused typically maneuver through their relationships.
Yes.
I'm not trying to go that deep, but you know.
What you call it, like Dobby's a free elf.
Oh, and that's what you're like. I
gave
get
me a
my
little-
freedom by manipulating you a little bit. That's not even funny. Like, I'm so serious. Are you laughing?
Because I have healed.
Okay.
But reflecting on that, I'm like, okay, in those moments is when I would be feminine. It was really for my gain to get power. So when I think of femininity, I think of power.
I do too.
But in a manipulation way.
God, I don't want to tell this story. And I don't have to, because I have a mouth and no one's forcing me to say things. But I'm not going to tell this story, but I'm going to tell a very PG-13 version of it.
Okay.
So there was this time that I was dating this guy.
Ooh.
And we were intimate. And I remember being on top. And I remember the next day I felt like, I don't know, a badass, because I was on top the entire time.
Wow.
And I was
Not the Meg Thee Stallion knees.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's so not like me. So I remember feeling like, oh man, I'm in charge, or like, and like I'm like I have some sort of power. But honestly, like there are even things like that, like positions that people attribute, like, okay, well, you're submissive and you're, you know, like my woman, so you got to be at the bottom, you know, missionary or something. And it's like, I remember having this idea that, oh, well, you know, this is why I can't never get no man that is really like a masculine man, because I get off on that powerful stuff like that, right? Like the whole being on top thing. And like, I just like, in us reflecting on talking about femininity and you even saying these things about evoking this emotion and being on the sidelines or kind of trying to manipulate emotion. And that's, I feel like femininity has been given such a crazy package. Being powerful in a way that is overt and is assertive is feminine as well. Women are very powerful, and they don't have to be quiet in order to be powerful. We're literally awaiting on the results of our next presidency, right? And we might have, you know, a female black president, or whatever her race is, according to a whole bunch of random people.
Side note, I had a conversation today, and somebody was like that she changes the way that she speaks, and I'm like, that's called code switching.
Yes, it is very much, you know, a thing that happens amongst the black community.
Exactly. I'm like, I code switch.
Thank you for the confirmation of her race by you bringing that up.
Yes.
I thank you.
And then also, I'm like, she's a part of a black sorority.
Okay.
Hello. I think, yes, Kamala is a black woman.
You remember when Drew Barrymore, did you see when Drew Barrymore was
Mamala?
like, we need you to be Mamala for the country?
Girl. I'm tired. When I heard that, I was like, oh no. That kind of, oh my God, I don't mean to go very, very historical, but it has just taken me there, okay? It's giving me mammy vibes, okay? When she said that, like, it really gives me mammy vibes.
Like,
you
why
know
you
what
think
I'm
I'm
talking
supposed to be
about?
y'all damn mama? You ain't never said that to Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
Mean ass.
I'm supposed to nurse America? Was America nursing my babies? No. Okay, I'm off my rant.
That's okay.
I'm really passionate about blacks in America.
Me too. I'm glad you are, friend. But yeah, femininity is powerful. It doesn't just have to be it doesn't have to be an undercurrent. And I feel like the same goes for masculine, but I wanted to touch on something that you said earlier about having just feeling like you need that initiation of masculine in order to kind of dwell in your feminine. And I'm a little scared to even have this conversation and to talk about this because I don't want people to be, coming after me. But I agree with that, man. But I just don't understand the science behind it. I don't understand what it derives from because I don't believe in the status quo when it comes to, gender roles.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like I also do. Like, I understand fully that feeling that I feel when a man is truly like someone that I feel matches my energy and maybe exceeds it. And I really feel like vulnerable. I used to run from that. I am afraid of that feeling still. That is a scary feeling for me.
Because you let go a little bit of the control, the power, and you're actually allowing someone to lead you. You trust that person because they've shown you with their life how they're able to take charge.
I have wholeheartedly felt that one time in my life, like truly like vulnerable because somebody's energy is so out of this world and I absolutely don't feel like I can match it. And I have felt instances of masculine, of course, in my relationship a good amount of times. Like I'm not gonna do that. But like that one time where I was just like a little girl, I was like, oh, okay, whatever you say. And that nigga fucking blew my heart to smithereens and shit.
It's always like that.
Always, I'm like, wait a minute. I don't ever want to be that way again in my life. I will never put myself in that situation.
Played me
and the thing
like
is that
fiddle.
From the beginning, I already had this relationship with femininity because I watched my mom, and my mom is so freakishly feminine. And I don't mean that in a bad way. My mother sits in femininity so crazy like. I'm sorry, am I not talking to the camera?
Yeah.
Sorry. I feel like if I stare at the TV, then I can see myself. Anyway, that Leo coded as fuck. Anyway, I will refrain from staring into my beauty. But my mom carried femininity, and there was no switch up. There was never like I'm a boss up real quick in a real masculine way. My mom...
Well, she never had to.
My mom is... Listen, maybe
different
we beg to
time
differ.
frame.
Maybe we beg to differ. But my dad is an extremely masculine person, but, everyone has their flaws.
Yeah.
So, like, I grew up looking at the way that my parents were together, and I said, I will never, ever not have a voice to this degree. And I hate to say, I actually want to cut this. Like, I hate to say it like that, but that is the truth. Like, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
But I think that that's just a child's perspective, perhaps. I think that my mother liked for my father to, initiate and do certain things for her and, give voice to maybe some of her thoughts or, help to encourage her or inspire her. But from a child's perspective, and I just was like, I don't want...
It wasn't barring it.
It wasn't given that to me at that time from a child's perspective. I don't want no man to ever like have power over my well-being or over me in any way. So I feel like I kind of came up a little rough. I was nice and I was a little timid, but I did not exude that energy. Like I remember I had a lot of guy friends and I remember they would never walk me home or nothing like that. Like it was like, they never saw that in me. I know that that's what I gave off. I gave off, nah, I'm straight. You ain't got to walk me home. And I was 5'9". I was 5'7.5" for so long, in my adolescence. So I was already tall and I was just nah, I'm good. I got it. I got me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that even having Orion, my son at 20, giving birth to him at 21, that just reinforced, it solidified. I am good. I'm straight. Like, I'm gonna need help sometimes. I'm gonna ask my parents for help when I need it. I don't need no man to help me with my kid and blase, blase.
Yeah.
And I just never realized that, like, truly not tapping into that feminine, that pushes men away.
Yeah.
Like, especially, like, really, like, the ones that can be, you know, masculine and that could, you know, fit that bill. That's how I feel. But you never know what in this world, what's real and what's not. But I always felt like, I look back and I'm like, I really feel like I used to have terrible confidence issues. Like, I used to think I was ugly as hell. Like, I used to think that I was just undesirable. But then I look back and I'm like, maybe I just was like not tapped into that feminine energy, and that just did not allow for the conversation to even happen with certain people that maybe I would have liked, or that, you know, I was drawn to in some way. I just didn't give the energy. And then, like, it kind of took for one person to kind of sneak in there and kind of break that down, and it made it worse because, again, they blew my heart to smithereens.
So now that we've had all these experiences of how bad it could get, how, let's say you encounter someone who is healthy, they're also healthy. They are healthy. They're going to play their position to allow you to play your position. How do we navigate that? That terrifies me, kind of like what you were saying before. It scares me because it's not just me, you know, it's me and another human being. So it blows my mind. Liam's never seen me or knows his mother to be in a romantic relationship. He does not know how his mom is feminine with an adult. And it's awkward. When I did experience it for a little bit, I'm like, because he is used to seeing me being HBIC, okay? And then to have somebody come in to where I'm like, oh, I heard something on socials today where it was like, this is a part of femininity, to where not every man is perfect, but if you find somebody that you're willing to, you know, do the work with, you have to speak to the king in them.
I'm sorry.
Regardless if that person is irritating you or whatnot. And I feel like that is a feminine power, because to me, I want to cut you with my words. Cut you, not build you.
As a king, though.
Yeah, no. I want to cut you, not build you.
Okay.
And the way that the woman was explaining it, it's like, that is a feminine power. Then again, I feel like it's manipulation. But anyways, you're speaking to the king rather than the person who keeps leaving the toilet seat up.
Shaniqua, real quick, I just want to get, what do you think it is when someone pretends to like you until y'all have sex? That's manipulation too. Everybody's manipulating each other, okay?
Because I don't want people to think like, oh my God.
I just want us to be very clear on that.
Okay, yeah, everybody wants something.
Yeah, it's okay. It's the nature of the jungle that we're all a part of.
Yes. But with that one, I was like, okay, well, that's a positive manipulation, I guess, to speak life into that person. You know, I haven't read the book, The Art of Seduction, but I'm sure there's probably something in there. Like, what would you call that? That's a skill that I want to really work on.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know where that fits in. I would have to think about it. There's not a whole lot of, maybe a charmer, because the book is not about building for love. It's about seduction. It's about power. So it's not like, there's not a ton that's about like, oh, I want to build you up as a person. It's more so like, I want to, you know, conquer you for selfish gain.
I'm good at that.
Are you?
I am. I know how to turn the switch on and switch it off. The way that I switch it on is I just give 0 fucks about you. You are literally a fuck to me.
My God.
That is when...
I've never heard that before.
I know.
Fuck.
That's when I step into that mode. Like, it's about me. Now, when feelings are involved, I'm like, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. But on the other side of the token, I don't give a fuck about your feelings. It's about me. So I don't know what art of seduction, which one that is. Maybe that's.
I think it's a rake. So a rake is like I think the charmer was Casanova.
Mm-hmm.
Like they talked about the story of they break down like the different seductors or the different types of seduction, and then they use like stories and historical texts and
I'm gonna have to read this book.
It's so interesting and it makes you feel smart because it's like, oh, now I'm learning history about Napoleon Bonaparte. But like a rake is like someone that comes to you and says everything. It's the most manipulative one. Says everything that you need to hear. It's kind of like the bad boy. You kind of get off on seeing them.
Love bombing?
Yes.
Yes. I don't love bomb.
But as far as the real care and the real like investment, it's not there.
Okay.
You will forever be chasing this person.
I experienced that.
Oh no, Shaniqua, please don't do this.
Don't Carisha please me.
You know what? I was just thinking about how you're just so well spoken and you definitely have, future like young Oprah vibes. And I was like, Shaniqua, please. That would be the name of your next show without me.
Shaniqua, please. Yeah, I did experience that. And man, this man had me with my track shoes and I don't even do that. Okay.
I just want to say that we were supposed to be talking about femininity, but I guess we can't.
We're not there yet.
Talk about how niggas had us fucked up in the past. All right, you and your tennis shoes. Go. Ski mask.
Girl. Oh my God.
Vaseline.
No, I wasn't fighting. What?
Oh, I thought you was on the way to do something.
No.
Okay, I had the wrong scenario in my head.
No. He had me chasing him.
Oh, he was a runner. You was a track star.
Yes. Okay, he was. And then love bombed. And then ghost. And then he even zombied me. He hit me with everything.
What's the zombie? He came back to life?
Yes, came back from the dead. Came back from the dead. And you're like, wait, weren't you dead?
Very, very chaotic.
All over the place. So you know what I need to do in order to tap into my femininity? I need a cleanse. I need to purge myself and disconnect. Just cut all those soul ties. And therefore, then I'll be able to, get into my feminine. So let me describe my feminine.
Tell me.
To you.
Mm-hmm.
Me, it would be like a mix between Nora Smith.
Girl, hell, yeah.
A mix of Nora Smith. A little bit of Cardi, for the party. And then...
Girl, please, no.
Yes.
What? She watched this, so let me stop.
Okay. And then Michelle Obama. That's my pot of femininity that I want right there. I think that's a good balance.
I just don't want you fighting over niggas. That's why I
No.
No.
I mean, no, we don't do that anymore. Remember, domestic diva, no more.
Okay.
I've evolved.
Okay.
And, I can't hit nobody anymore. I don't want to become a felon.
Uh-huh.
So.
I don't want that for you, baby.
Yeah. Don't want to have to explain that to Liam.
Eat you up in prison.
I don't know. I think I could become the top bitch. Okay? What is it? I would never be the bottom bitch. I'd be the top bitch. Okay?
You just made a face, and I kind of believe you now because of that face. Your eyes got real serious.
I would never.
Like, oh my gosh, domestic divas going behind bars. Take cell block 1. My God. Okay.
I can't do jail.
The girls is gonna eat you up, and then they're gonna be like, you know what? She likes this, so we're gonna stop.
I can't do my 12-step skincare routine in jail with what? With ramen
toilet
noodle
water.
No, I ain't about that life.
Somebody
I ain't
just
about that
shat
life,
in.
ho. I'm not.
Okay.
So if you had to create your femininity pot, who would you put in there? Like from media. You can't take Michelle. I already took
Rihanna.
her. Yes.
Rihanna.
Yes.
Rihanna is so powerful,
but
and
she got
she's
the
so
right
confident.
man. He allows her to just unapologetically be her, and he's secure in who he is. That's the key.
I think she was like that before there was a man.
Yes, but with the man, she attracted the perfect man
for her.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, we don't have a lot of time left, but that's another conversation for another day. Like
Rihanna?
No, like what we attract.
Fuck niggas.
Listen.
That was the old me. The new me just don't attract nobody. I really just don't. I don't even want to be visible to anyone. I want to be hidden.
I see. But Rihanna's that girl. But any closing thoughts, Shaniqua?
Hold on, let me look at my cards.
Okay. The closing card.
Oh my God, Darna, closing time.
It's me completely doing away with them because I was like, listen, we tried. This was a social experiment and we failed. Okay, so I start the closing thought. You ready? You guys ready for professionalism? All right. I think what we're saying here is that femininity is whatever you make it. Girl, we done said anything and everything and don't try to close with this. Girl, I don't think we even said this. But you embrace the parts that feel authentic to you. And don't worry about anyone else's definition.
Period, Pooh. Yes. And remember, we're all just out here figuring it out, okay? So keep being beautiful and your messy self.
All right. Well, that's a wrap for today's experience. No, episode, because this is an episode of something. We'll see you next time on Hot Mess Momlennials.
Hey! Hit it, DJ.
I think that was a one-time thing last time.
Okay.
Or maybe not. Oh, okay. Ever is a young man. He was like, this is the perfect song to end with.
I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough.